What's up, everyone, and welcome back to The Coach Approach. It's your coach, Blake of the Black Faker, and today, we're going to be talking about, is coaching even worth it? You might be thinking, well, if I get coaching, I feel like it's a waste of money, especially because some of these prices are a little high, and I'm talking about hundreds. If you're getting coaching for 100, you better be an esports player. All I'm saying. And I know sometimes people are just confused, like, does it really work? I do get coaching, and coaching doesn't really seem to work. And it's really hard for me to actually do a video like this without sounding biased, because I've been a coach for going on 8 years. So for me to tell you specifically if it's worth it or not, I'll leave my own explanation at the end of the video. But I will touch a lot of topics that I think you guys might want to pay attention to before you do decide to get coaching. So without further ado, let's pop on into it. All right, so a couple of points I want to hit before we start. As I said, it's going to be kind of hard to sound biased, or it's going to be hard not to sound biased, but bear with me. You guys know that I do really enjoy when you guys climb. I do really enjoy when you guys tell me stories about your achievements, and I do enjoy helping you guys with your problems when you do have them. So the way that I look at you guys, I try to envision myself. So I'm going to do my best to put myself in your shoes and try to answer some of these questions and try to get a point of view, because obviously I'm compassionate. I have empathy for you guys. I've been exactly where you are, where you're wondering if you need a coach, where you're wondering if it's even worth it. So hopefully I can help you guys out. So here we go. First point I want to make here is, what does a coach actually do? Well, I did some research. Now, this might not be spot on research because I didn't, specifically go in depth encyclopedia style. Quick Google search. And a coach pretty much trains, they teach, they give you instruction on how to improve at what you're doing, right? So in a sense, a coach for League of Legends, such as myself, my job is to train you, is to teach you, and pretty much make you a better person than what you already are. Now, kind of simply like a basketball coach or a football coach, hockey coach, life coach, whatever. The job of the coach is not to give you a lesson. The job of the coach is to make sure that you're being the best you can be, which is what my philosophy is. I don't want to instill principles that I use to climb, because that's you're not me. I'm not you. But I want to make you the best person you can be and get you climbing on your way. Now let's look at what a teacher is, because I thought about, what is a teacher then? What do they do? Teachers are awesome, by the way. This is not to cut anything down, and they do a lot more than this. I'm just saying this is what Google says a teacher is. A teacher is a person who helps a student acquire knowledge. A little bit extra stuff, but we'll just stop there. They help to acquire knowledge, okay? So when you're getting taught by a teacher, they're just giving you information that you don't really know yet. And in a sense, that's what being a coach is too. But when you get a coach, you pretty much already know what you want. You pretty much already know what you're doing. You just want to get better at it faster. You just want to make sure that you're on the right path. Does that make sense? Like, you're not going to get a coach not knowing what League of Legends is. You're not going to just be like, hey, I'm downloading this game, I have no clue what it is, let me get a coach. I mean, some people do that, and I have coached people, but it's very small percentage of players. Most players that get a coach think that they understand what their problem is, in which case they come to me like, hey, I have this issue, this is what I'm having. Now, my job as a coach is to analyze that problem, but also look at if there's any other problems we can kind of fix. And for instance, let's say there's a top laner that wants to split push, right? Well, yes, split pushing is a tactic, and as a top laner, you should know what a split push is. You should know that's what it is, but you might not know how to go about it. You might not know the best scenario to do it in, and that's where a coach comes into play. Our job is to make sure that we get you to be the best you can be. There are some coaches that aren't like that, so you really got to pick and choose selectively. You really got to look at some reviews. You really got to look at some of their content they put out or something like that already. Don't get coaches based off the clout. One thing that I've noticed is a lot of people that go for coaches because they're super high challenger, or a lot of people that go for coaches because they're like super famous on YouTube or super famous on Twitch or something like that. It costs way more, and you're not really getting anything new because they're already that big, because they have so many people that they have to kind of worry about. You're not getting as much undivided attention as you should be getting, especially after sessions. Usually it's, I have my session and I'm done. For me, as I said, it's hard not to sound biased, but for me, I'm never like that. You can join my Discord, you can ask questions, and I'm always there to answer you guys' questions. When I do have these students, I do make sure that I give them as much attention as possible. Sometimes I go over the hours. Sometimes, like I said, they just message me after the session. I give them notes and things like that because I want them to know that I'm there for them whenever they need me. I don't want them to think that, well, the day is over, the session's over, I can't get into contact with this guy again. And no matter how big I get, and I kept that promise, no matter how many students I get, I'm still going to be there to make sure I'm answering you guys' questions when you do have them. It might not be instantly, but I do my best to get to you guys. That's what you don't really get when you're dealing with coaches that are, like I said, super high in clout, things like that, because they're just there to do their job and get on with themselves. If that's what you want, you pretty much got to make sure that you know precisely what your problem is before you buy something like that, because that is basically coaching what you're asking for. It is like, okay, well, you're getting a coach for this. Let me see this game, coaching what you're asking for. That's that. We're done. Cool. Let's go. I gave you what you needed. And that is what you need to know for sure, precisely. So maybe go to another coach and then ask him or her what they think, and then go to that other coach, like, this is the problems that I have, and have them coach you on that. I'm just saying it's more personal when dealing with coaches that are cheaper than that $100 or lesser than that clout that they have, because I've seen a lot of good coaches that actually coach for free. I'm not one of those free coaches. I used to be, but there's a lot of coaches that do coach for free. Rank doesn't matter. Clout doesn't matter. It really just comes down to the person, right? You can have a really good teacher that's a new teacher. You can have a really good substitute teacher. Now, I know they're not the same thing, but you see my point. The rank, how many people know who this person is, that doesn't matter. It matters on how the coach teaches, and it matters how personal they are with you, how much they click and things like that. It's a chemistry thing. Coaching is an ongoing thing, and it's never going to be, I get one coaching session and I'm just this. It's an ongoing thing. That's what coaches are for in anything. You don't see them once and just get on with your life. I know that was long-winded, but I had to make sure we got past that point. Okay, so let's rewind a little bit. What does a coach do? Job's to train, basically help you out what you already know how to do. A teacher's job pretty much is to teach you what you don't know, and when you need help, of course, to help you with it and then get you to understand what the topic is about. That's pretty much the difference between the two. So you might be wondering, well, can I just learn from videos? And that's a coin flip. Some people are visual learners. Some people are hands-on learners. Every coach has their own way of teaching. Every coach has their own way of getting their point across. A video more or less doesn't meet that criteria. A video does exactly what a video should do. It gets their point across. It might not be their point across to you. It might be a clickbait video. Shouts out, I do clickbait videos. You send me a video you might think you didn't learn much from or whatever. I watch it and then I'll see if it's clickbait. Hey, I'm just saying, if you want help, I'm sorry, plugs. Anyway, so yeah, that video is for that specific thing. And so this is why most of the time you're like, I try this out, it works in 1 or 2 games and it just doesn't work anymore. Sometimes it's just clickbait content. Sometimes it's just only content for that specific scenario, which I don't know why they would upload a video like that anyway. Or that particular topic. And that's why there's a difference between learning from the videos, because you'll have to be able to articulate what you're learning and warp that into a way that you can use it. A lot of the times when people watch videos, they look at it, they copy and paste it in their mind, they try to perform it, and it doesn't work out well because they didn't have that tool. So you can learn from videos, but you're gonna have to go out your way to really learn. It's kind of like a speech, you have like a guest speaker come in and they're speeching. They're doing their speech. They're speeching? Is that even they're doing their speech, right? And your teacher's like, dude, take a note, professor, whatever, take notes, stuff like that. And then after the person leaves, the professor comes back or the teacher comes back and they kind of just go over and explain everything and wrap it up into a whole that just makes more sense to you guys, right? That's what a coach does. All this stuff, well, that's what a good coach does. There are coaches that just kind of spew information and it doesn't really help you out, but that's stuff you didn't maybe know. But real good coaches are meant to do that. We're going to wrap everything up and spew it back at you at a way you can understand. Every single student should be different. Every single student should be taught differently, depending on how the student learns. So that's what pretty much the difference is between the videos. You don't have that, well, this person's watching it, so this person definitely learns more. If it's like, well, how to roam as mid lane, what if that person sees a video, but it doesn't really explain to them how they need to roam? It just explains how they should roam. That's where a coach comes into play. So you can work some videos, but it takes a lot of articulating, and some people just don't want to go through that time to have to do that for every single video, analyze their play, analyze the video, and then do all that. So you can, it's just a lot longer process. That's all. What do you actually get out of coaching? That one's hard, right? As I said, that one's extremely hard to be to not be biased about. I guess you can say, I already kind of said a little bit of it already within that past note there, but pretty much I can say what you get out of coaching is the connection between the person that's teaching you, the ability to ask them whatever question crops up, the ability to actually get your questions answered in a way that you can understand, the ability to have them on call, so to speak, to answer your questions, the ability to have something explained to you one way, and if it's not working, they can try to explain it to you another way. The ability to have them see problems that you don't see. A lot of the time students come to me and they're like, I have this issue, I have this issue, I have this issue. And as I said, there are bad coaches that are like, okay, and look at the issue that the student gave to them so they can do less work, but I'm not one of those coaches. And there's a lot of coaches that I know that aren't one of those coaches. What we'll do is we'll listen. Okay, yes, I got you. Okay, cool. We'll look at that in your game when you're playing or when you share the VOD. But also what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making sure that is there anything else that you just didn't get that you are having issues with? And 9 times out of 10, there's a lot of stuff you don't know. Why? Because you've never been to that level yet, right? If you're silver, you're not going to know what a diamond knows. Even if you see, you're not going to know. You have to experience diamond. If you're diamond, you're not going to know what a challenger knows. You have to experience what a challenger knows. So this is exactly why good coaches need to make sure that they pay attention, because you can get concepts out of it even if you weren't even looking for that, because you're making the mistakes. My philosophy is I'm teaching you to where you're going, not where you are. If you're silver, I'm not going to just focus on what silver stuff is. A lot of coaches disagree with that. They think, well, if they're silver, they don't know a lot of stuff, so what's the point of teaching them if they don't even understand it? Well, we're all fucking human, right? We all have a brain. You don't have to look down on the lower elo players saying like, oh, they just don't understand because their brain's not, they're not smart enough to. That's so stupid. They just don't know. And if you teach them, they can know and they can easily climb. And a lot of coaches just don't have that thought. They think, well, because you're silver, I have to teach you this specific way. Because you're gold, I have to teach you this specific way. My philosophy, I'm teaching you to where you're going. I don't care if you're iron. If you want to hit diamond, bro, I'm telling you stuff that you need to hit along the way. I'm not going to say everything you're doing, you need to make sure that diamond things, I'm not going to teach you like you're actually a diamond player. I understand that. I'm not going to understand the concepts as much because you don't know specifically what the concepts are. But if I see something in your game and I'm like, yeah, that would not have worked in diamond because of XYZ, there's a moment to teach right there. And that's the difference between good coach and a bad coach. Because bad coaches will take what you tell them, run with it, and just teach you that and do less work. And the good coach is going to be like, well, this, yeah, good job on that play, but it just wouldn't have worked, and here's why. Boom, you learned something new that day. So that's what you get out of coaching. All what I just said. I guess I can recap, huh? So you get the ability to have that personal connection. You get the ability to have someone explain stuff to you in different ways. You have the ability to have someone look at your things and tell you a lot of concepts and help you learn a lot of concepts you just didn't know from the start because the only thing you've done was watch videos or maybe watch somebody else play a little stuff like that. If you guys are wondering why I'm having these games in the back, these are just the games that I played. They're not really indicative on how good or bad a player I am. I mean, I don't even think you know which one I am. You might know who I am. But for the most part, they're just gameplays that happen in the background. So don't think this is like, oh, this is me showing how good I am. This is literally just a game. This is a gold game. This is my top account. So this is a gold game. I'm not even saying this is not a gameplay to show how good I am. This is literally just something because I've been only playing on my top account recently. I have an account for each role because I want to get them all to diamond. I feel like you can't coach each role. If you don't play each role, you got to know what everybody's feeling. You got to understand the frustrations. You got to understand the pain. You have to understand the concepts that you have to work over, the hurdles you have to get over. And by playing these roles, I know that's how you get around with it. So yeah, I just want to get that out the way because I know it might be saying, oh, you're trying to show off. It's really nothing. It's just games I've played because I wasn't playing on my other account. The last thing here from my point of view, is coaching actually worth it? So the question really depends on you. As I said, I'm doing my best to see it from your point of view. It really depends on what you want to do. So is it actually worth it? Well, what do you want to do? Do you just want to climb for fun? Do you have a particular goal? Do you want to be a pro player? Do you want to stream? Do you want to do YouTube? Do you want to be good enough for that? I've gotten a lot of answers, honestly. I want to be better than my girlfriend. I want to be better than my dad. I want to be better than my son. I want to be better than my friends, my coworkers. I've heard it all. But do you need it instead of want it? Do you need it? Is it worth it? Is it worth that money that you're putting into it? As I said, you can get away with watching videos. You can get away from learning from your own play, but it is going to be a little bit of a slog, especially if you're not the type of person that is really good on self-discipline and really good on self-criticism, because you're going to need a lot of that. This game is frustrating as hell, and I understand, but at the same time, you have to be disciplined and be like, okay, I made that mistake. I have this problem. This is why this happened, right? And also, you're going to have to look at your game and look at other videos and see what concepts you're missing. And once again, like I said, try to warp that into a way you can use it, because you're not going to know everything about the game without a coach actually specifically telling you, because that's our job to damn near study the game and not really play it that much. I mean, I still play the game, as I said before, but I definitely don't have the time to like straight climb the challenger. Like, that's not happening. I can only be a coach or a player. I cannot get the challenge. I mean, I want to get a challenge. I'm not saying I don't, but that requires a lot of dedication. And that's why I said high ranks don't matter. A lot of people think, well, oh, high ranks. I have challenger friends that literally was like, hey, can you coach my friend? Because I have no fucking clue how to coach. That's true. The person that makes a challenger, sometimes they don't know how to reach challenger for themselves. They can give you tips, but that doesn't mean they know how to coach you. Why? Because they usually put in so much effort that they really only know how to do it their way. A coach's job is to not make a duplicate, right? But if you're getting coaching from that challenger player, strictly off the notion because he's a challenger player, there are some good challenger coaches. I'm not saying they're not. But a lot of them that I've spoken to do not know how to teach. They only know how to play. And a lot of coaches that you see in LCS, a lot of coaches that you'll see, I do think you should probably hit diamond before you like think about becoming a coach. You can coach under. There's some pro coaches that are like gold, but they're like actually hired. You know, they're not like taking a leap of faith and trying to get better at coaching. They're already known for their skills. I think the lowest that I've seen someone get accepted as an LCS coach or something like that was Platinum 4. Don't quote me, but I think. So as I said, that the rank doesn't really matter in that sense, but I definitely think you should get diamond if you want to start getting into coaching, rather than trying to just pop it off at like gold or platinum. Even if you are very smart, it's hard to get that credibility if you're just, you know, that rank, because a lot of the students are that rank. But pushing to like challenger and stuff like that, like there shouldn't really be a coach that knows that could be as personal as I am. There really shouldn't be a coach that is really working with students and, you know, really helping. Putting that much time in a different play styles, putting that much time in different people, that's extremely hard. Just like a regular coach in basketball. Dude, they're not being a coach and trying to be the NBA All-Star. Like, bro, that's not happening. You can be the NBA All-Star, or you can be the coach. What you want to do? Like, that's how it goes. So when you're picking those high look coaches or those clout coaches, make sure that you, like I said, you read those comments, you read those reviews and stuff like that. Final opinion, is coaching worth it? It's based off what you want. If you want to become a streamer, you want to get to become a holy crap, can I speak? If you want to be good to become a streamer, I definitely think coaching is definitely worth it. It'll get you there faster and you can start streaming. I actually did coach a student that went from gold 4? I don't want to say 4. I'll say gold. I don't know what number. To diamond in like less than a week. No bullshit. He was asking me hella questions, and then he started streaming. And I was like, okay. But then he went to college and he deranked because, you know, he couldn't play. But that's sad. That's the sad part of it, but it's true. But he got to live out his dream of streaming diamond, and, you know, I was glad I was able to be a part of that. There are players that want to be part of a pro scene. I've coached 2 players that wanted to do that and have that as your dream. As far as just for fun, there are people that do sign up for fun. But for you, it's based off what you want. Do you want to get better faster? No, I have no reason to really get better faster, then it's not really worth it. You can definitely learn from videos, or you can ask me questions in my Discord. I have little tabs for specifically what role. You need to be like, hey, I don't really know how to do this, and I'll help you out. There's a lot of people that are free that will help you out, and you don't really need to buy coaching if you just feel like you're frustrated and hard stuck. I definitely think that if you're going to look for coaching, be clear-minded and don't book just because you're mad. Definitely understand that you're booking because I want to get to this rank as efficiently as possible, and I think that you will be able to help me get that. So I hope this helped answer. I hope this helped you guys see some light. If you guys like videos like this, be sure to thumbs up, be sure to subscribe. I will make more videos like this. This is going to be a segment called Chats with the Coach, I think. Yeah, Chats with the Coach. So this is going to be pretty much how I feel about certain topics. I'm still going to be releasing guides, still going to be releasing patch notes, free VOD reviews, free coaching is coming in soon. Make sure you join my Discord for those. And yeah, that's pretty much how it's going to be. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Make sure you guys stay safe out there. If you guys haven't checked out my Patreon, please feel free to do that too. The link in the description below. But as I always say, thank you for approaching this like a coach.